Hello everyone, this is the start of a new series. Today we will be just doing the setup for your system, um, linking the libraries GLFW, GLM, OpenGL, and GLEW. Now, in this series, I need you to have some requirements. The requirements for this series will be that you know basic C++ and nothing more. It's an absolute beginner's guide. You don't need to know any OpenGL. We will be doing everything from scratch. Let's open the terminal. For now, this is only for the Linux users, but that only affects the setup process, not the actual rendering process. So, if you're on Linux, you must have some basic knowledge of the terminal. Let's start by first um, getting our goals straight. Our goal is to um, comment, yeah. So our goal is to create a spinning cube, a 3D spinning cube, and we can move it far away, increase its size, put it anywhere, and that will be our goal. It's a nice party trick, so that will be the final goal. After that, the series will end. Now, you might have heard about OpenGL from anywhere, from maybe a friend, a YouTube video, and you may have got interested in it. So, let's start. On Linux, you can, if you are on Debian or Ubuntu, so you can use apt, but I'm on Pacman, so like I'm on Arch Linux, so we can use Pacman. So let's use sudo pacman-s glfw y. So we have installed that. Now glue there. Now we have done these two. That is enough for now. Now I will explain what these are, and in the first episode we will only be writing a small program, and I will tell you its meaning in the next episode, episode 1. Let's go into our project / tutorial. Let's create a tutorial directory, cd into it. We can say it's empty. Touch create a new file. Let's do it part1.c++. Now, if you're on Linux, I expect you use either maybe code, so like Visual Studio Code, or you use maybe NeoVim or Vim or anything like that. If you're using Visual Studio Code, it's fine, it doesn't matter. I will be using Vim or NeoVim for the majority of this series. So let's just start. You can open up your text editor and open this file, vim part1.c++. Now, first of all, as you know, a simple hello world program goes like include this iostream, then return 0, before this print hello world, like this, right? So we are including a library here, including a library. What this does is G++ or Clang++, whatever compiler you use for the C++, it outputs a binary. You give it a C++ file and it outputs a binary. So what it does is iostream is a library, and library is a set of functions that any code can use on your system. So it's a pre-compiled binary. Let's just say it's a set of functions in the form of a binary. So when we include it, what happens is at compile time, even before running anything, the compiler first sees this hashtag include, then it takes iostream, its binary, and appends it to your output binary. So that means if it is in our program's binary, then we can use its functions, right? And its function is what? stdcout. That is one of its functions. So we will be doing the same thing. Hashtag include gl slash glue.h, hashtag include glfw slash glfw3.h, and include this. Now what are these? Now glue. Glue is a function loader. So it allows us to use modern OpenGL functions. Actually, we should just say what is OpenGL first. OpenGL is a rendering API, which means it talks to the um, GPU driver, or if you are a beginner, you don't know what that is. So it talks to the graphics card and displays pixels onto the screen. All right. So that's basically what it is. It has a bunch of functions which, when you use in unison and in the correct order with the correct data, you can render anything. So that is what OpenGL is. You can render animations, a triangle, a donut, a spinning cube, which is our goal. So now OpenGL is really old. It's like 20 to 30 years old. So what we do, if we don't use glue, we can only use its legacy version. Legacy is OpenGL's old version. That means version 1.1 and below. But we don't want that. We want modern OpenGL, which is a little harder, but it teaches good practices. And the version 1.1 and below, if you use that, then um, in the modern days, no one will like really think of you as knowing OpenGL because you just know the legacy version. Glue allows us to use version 3.3 or like 1.2 and above. That means we can use anywhere from 1.2 to the latest 4.5. This is what we want. For this series, we will be using OpenGL 3.3. So now we have covered what these two are. Now GLFW. GLFW is a windowing API or window API, which means it talks to the operating system, which in our case is Linux, to tell it to create windows. All right, windows is not the operating system windows, it is a window. Like if I take this, wow, OBS is such a, that's a cool effect. So this is a window. If I open Firefox, this is a window. So GUI applications are windows. So it allows us to use to create a window on which we can render our whatever we want to using OpenGL. Now we have all these. Let's just write our first program, which will be just creating a blank window. GLFW in it. You don't need to understand this. I will be telling you what it means in the next episode. For now, just copy all of this. Copy all of this. And okay, so this, then what? 800 by 800 by OpenGL tutorial by null pointer. Don't do this what I'm doing right here. I'm just don't do this. Okay. So in this loop, this and then this, and destroy the window and terminate. Now we can run this. How can we run this? If you're on Linux, as this tutorial is for, then you don't use Visual Studio because it is not available on Linux. So we will be using G++ or Clang++. For this, let's just use G++. I don't know how to install it. I think this yeah, it does not. Maybe it is in this. No, it's not. You can check on the internet. Maybe it comes with GCC. Maybe I don't think it does. But now let's compile this. G++ part1 dot C++ dash output part1. Now we want to tell the compiler what libraries we are using: GL, glue, and glfw. Make sure glue and GL are in the uppercase and glfw is in the lowercase. It's case sensitive. Now it compiles. Now you write dot slash part1, and your first ever OpenGL program runs, and we can see a empty window. Now in the next episode we will be learning about this program we have written, and we will be covering VBO. Alright, that's the topic of its own. And if you have any suggestions about how this should be, this series should go, then please tell me in the comment section. And one last thing before you go, um, if you have any doubt, then you can also ask in the comment section. I will be linking some some URLs of YouTube videos in the description of this video, so that you can check out how to set up your environment on Windows. If you cannot, um, that's fine, you can switch to Linux if you can't. And just one last thing is that this will be hard. OpenGL is not supposed to be easy. It is hard. It is like debugging it is like hell, and it will take a long time to master it. Even I have not mastered it. I'm just good at it. I have not mastered it. No one has. So that's just what I'm saying. Don't lose motivation if you don't understand. Check out the internet, check out whatever AI, everything is in your favor. So you have a lot of resources, and that's all. Now I will meet you in the next episode. Thank you.